Hi everybody. I'm just going to give you a quick update on my health today. I've not blogged or vlogged lately. If you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, then you'll possibly have already know that I have had a couple of problems. Over the past couple of years, I've had problems with my stomach, and I've had various tests, camera tests and things like that, and nothing really showed anything up. And then a couple of weeks ago, I started off with extreme pain just underneath my rib cage, which was radiating into my back and up my spine and into sort of my shoulder blade, and it was quite a severe pain. It was, worse than sort of wind or indigestion or anything like that. And basically, I'm not soft, and I am quite tolerant to pain, because I tend to be in pain quite a lot in my daily life because I have rheumatoid arthritis. But this pain just got worse and worse until in the end it was excruciating and unbearable. It was comparable to labour pains. Now, I know not everybody's experienced labour pains, but most people know that, as it goes, it's pretty severe pain. And I took myself to the casualty department, and basically the pains got worse and worse as I was there, and they gave me gas and air and morphine and some other drugs, and then eventually the pain did settle down to sort of a dull ache, raw, whatever. Anyway, they sent me home and said, go and see your GP. If it comes back, it's probably nothing. Anyway, this happened 3 more times over a couple of days, and one day I actually went back to the casualty department, I think 3 times in one day, and they kept sending me home. And then once the drugs they gave me started to wear off, I was in excruciating agony again, and it was getting actually worse. The final time I went was about 1 o'clock in the morning. I drove myself up to the casualty department because I just thought it was the quickest way to get there. It's literally sort of round the corner. It's a 1 minute drive away, so I felt safe enough to do that. And they took me in, and I was just in such pain at this point that the doctor was actually trying to question me on the pain and ask me what was wrong, and sort of get some kind of a history again from me about this pain so he could try and help me out. And in the end, apparently, he told me that he had to they had to cannulate me, which is when they put a needle into your hand sort of there, and leave a little plastic tube inside you, like a drip, and they gave me drugs into that, and then I vomited quite a lot. Sorry to be graphic, I hope I'm not making anyone feel ill. And they gave me something for sickness, and the pain started to settle down then a little bit. It was still absolute agony, but I could speak, because I couldn't speak before. I was just shouting in pain and moaning, and it was just an all-consuming kind of pain, and I couldn't actually say anything. Anyway, they admitted me to the ward, and the next day they took me, they gave me morphine, sort of regularly to keep this pain under control, and anti-sickness drugs. And then the next day they took me to the scan department, where they did an ultrasound scan on my stomach, which showed up that I have gallstones. Now, the first time I went to the casualty department, I said to them, could it be gallstones? They were like, oh, no. The doctor that saw me then said, oh, you look very anxious. And of course, when you get there, they take your tablets off you, and he saw that I was on antidepressants. And I think immediately sort of assumed that I was some kind of neurotic, loony person, basically. And he kept saying, you look very anxious. I think you're very anxious. I said, I look like I'm in pain. I don't, my face is screwed up. And yes, I am anxious because I'm in so much pain. But he didn't seem to think it was anything, and he just said, oh, it's just irritable bowel, you'll be fine. And I was like, I've had irritable bowel for years. Yes, it is and can be agonising. This is not irritable bowel, it's a different kind of pain. I knew it wasn't, but anyway. I'm not very impressed that they sent me home sort of 3 or 4 times. I'm sorry if I'm not being too specific on the amount of times they sent me home, because, to be honest, it's a bit of a blur for me because I was that ill. So it turns out I've got gallstones anyway, and sometimes they can settle and not be a problem, but one of mine, the doctor said he's actually sort of about this big. He said at least 7.5 centimetres, diameter. So basically, he said it's not a matter of if you will have a problem, you will have a problem again. And because I'd reached the stage where it was causing me so much pain, and I was having to have the morphine, regularly, antibiotics as well, because there was signs that there was an infection inside there as well, because that can happen when, the gallstones block the ducts. He said basically you need to have it out. They were going to do the operation there and then, but the anaesthetist, when he came to assess me, refused to do the operation. He said he didn't feel that doing it over a bank holiday weekend or an evening was safe without the full support of the extra team there. He didn't like to do it unless it was absolutely essentially life-threatening, which he didn't feel it was. Anyway, there was lots of arguing and discussion between the doctors, and they decided that it's not life-threatening, so they will do it as a planned procedure in the day, and they will be able to have the full support of the team, for my safety, which I appreciate. Anyway, the really nice surgeon at Trafford General said basically he's booked up all through October. He only does these operations on a Thursday, and he was actually going on holiday immediately after the bank holiday, so he couldn't do it then, and then he was booked up every Thursday. So the first opportunity will be I think the 1st of November. I'm very, very fortunate that my parents have agreed to take the children to Wales then, which means taking them out of school, but there's not a lot else you can do when you're on your own and your family live far away and you have no sort of support network you can rely on. It can be very difficult. I will not be able to drive for 2 weeks, and after the operation it would actually be illegal to drive. I wouldn't be covered by my insurance, so that's completely out, and obviously I'll need to recuperate and care for myself. I've got some absolutely fantastic friends that are going to help me out as much as they can, and hopefully if I can sort of shop and stock up before then, it will, I'll be all prepared and everything will be fine. Until the operation, I have to follow a very light fat-free diet, because obviously if I think the bile duct is possibly it's thinner than this pen, and obviously the stone's this big, so if it tries to travel down the bile duct, because every time you eat fat, the gallbladder contracts, and it would force this stone, and it would completely block, perforate, or basically rip me open inside, which would be a major life-threatening operation. So I'm a good girl, and I'm following the low-fat diet, and it's a great opportunity to lose a few pounds as well, obviously. The pain is still there, but it's just very minimal, just a little bit like stomach cramps, abdominal cramps that most people would just suffer at some point in their life if they had perhaps a tummy bug, or a lady time of the month or whatever. But it's there, and it sort of comes and goes, but I am sticking to the requirements of the diet, because basically it's the best thing to do is to have this operation safely and as planned. So yeah, that's me. The good thing about being on a sort of forced medical diet is that, unlike normal diets where you have to go on a diet and you're absolutely miserable and you can't really moan about it because you've chose to go on a diet, I can moan about it, and it's great. Oh, I wanted this, or I wanted a pizza, or something. Because for example, last night I made an online order at Pizza Hut, and the children and Julia had lovely pizza, and I had a Pizza Hut salad with basically lettuce, tomatoes, beetroot, couscous, and some Hellmann's fat-free mayonnaise. Thank you, Hellmann's, for that. Which, you know, was satisfying and tasty and really nice. I had a couple of jalapenos on there, some red onion, tomatoes, a couple of apple slices, grapes. So it's like it was a lovely, oh, peppers, yeah, I forgot the peppers. Really nice, varied salad. But it wasn't a pizza, so I was like, you know, I mean, I'm sort of joking a bit, but yes, I was like, I wanted a pizza. But, you know, it was a delicious salad, not the kind of salad that you could easily prepare at home because, you know, to cut that amount of ingredients up, you'd have a lot of wastage. So, yeah, all in all, I'm okay. So I just thought I'd update everybody and, you know, sort of let you know what's going on. And I hope it's not been too moany, this vlog. But anyway, so don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. There'll be more vlogs and blogs and, you know, reviews and things coming on. So I'll see you soon. Thank you. And keep well. All right, bye.